everybody, and thank you for attending our virtual meeting. I will now call the meeting to order. Unfortunately, since we are all despondent and there is no flag present at everybody's presence, we will bypass the Pledge of Allegiance only because the flag is not present. I'm going to take roll call right now as to establish a quorum. Sue, are you on?
Yes.
Okay. Donna?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Roberta? Roberta, are you on the call? Okay, and Katie, we might have a little difficulty there. Bob?
Yes.
Jim Young is present with myself in the governing board conference room. Okay, establishing, we'll get Roberta yay or nay, but even if she's not on the call, we do have a quorum present. Okay. Approval of the December 17th governing board minutes as amended. Are there any additions or corrections to the amended minutes? And listen, because it's a virtual call, I'm going to go down the list, and it's just if you have anything there, I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to have input in this. And the other thing is that when we go to any type of a motion or whatever, I will go through the list twice in case there is a secondary comment to make sure we have as much information as possible. Okay, approval of the minutes. Sue, you good with them?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Roberta? Okay. Bob?
Yes.
And Jim Young?
Yes.
Okay, they are approved as for them.
George, this is Karen, the admin.
Yes.
Would you kindly do a roll call of staff so I know who is on the call from staff?
Absolutely. Okay. And I will have to go and put down my participants. Let's see here. Let's see who's on here. Katie's on. Staff Bill, are you with us?
I am.
Is there anybody else with you, or are we all separate today?
Separate.
Okay. Pete, you on the call?
I'm here.
Okay. Marie? Okay. And let's see, I see Martin's on the call. And Russ, you on the call?
Yes, sir.
Carl?
Yes, sir.
And let's see who else. And I don't know if I'm missing anybody else on senior staff. If I am, I apologize for it. If you'd be kind enough to email Karen to tell her that you're on the call, and she can make sure you have a roll call on that one. Does that satisfy you, Karen?
Good to go, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you guys all so
George?
much. Yes.
Diana Starbuck's on the call also.
Why, thank you, Diana. I'm trying to keep everybody's name in my head, and it doesn't work. Bob, we have some governing board recognitions, but since we are virtual, I'm sure you can just tell us who they are, and we can present the certificates at our next meeting.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Go right ahead.
Today we have 6 impressive governing board recognitions to award. Not many can say that they've spent 5, 10, or even 20 years in the same organization. However, landscape maintenance supervisor Eduardo Mendez has been with the rec center for 3 years. He has spent 17 years in golf maintenance, and 13 years in the landscape maintenance. All we can say is, well done, Eduardo. Thank you for your many years of service and dedication. Once again, thank you. Our next 5 awards go to the Sun City West Golf Course Superintendents. These 5 gentlemen represent a professional management team, Class A golf course superintendents, with over 120 years of 120 years of combined course maintenance. Altogether, they have worked 96 years on Sun City West golf courses. And if any of you have seen our Sun City West golf courses lately, you can appreciate the skill and deep dedication these 5 gentlemen bring to the #1 amenity of our community, golf. Our congratulations go out to Isaac Beltran, Dan Ahey, Jonathan Courtney, Dan Maurer, and Oscar Morrill. Really appreciate each and every one of you immensely. Also, thank you for your years and years of service. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Bob. And once again, we cannot thank our staff enough, not only for what they do, for the experience that they bring forth day in and day out. Moving on, EOM reports and consent agenda. 4.05, Sue? Sue Fitzsimons?
Forgot to unmute. This is Sue. I move to approve. Didn't work too well, did it? I move to approve the consent agenda and accept the January 2021 EOM reports as filed information.
Very good. This requires a majority vote. Do I have a second to do this?
Second, Bob.
Got it, Bob? Okay, down the line, Sue,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Roberta?
Yes,
Good morning, Roberta.
I was here. I don't know why you couldn't hear me.
No, we're working through our technicals. That's all we can do. Bob,
Yes.
Jim? Yeah. Okay, vote carries. Next on the a list are EOM reports, which is Properties Committee, Roberta Davison.
I didn't have a motion on that one. I moved
There's-
to approve it on the
No.
consent agenda.
What we do is this is just a matter of us reading what we put on there for the properties. What we try to do is
George?
rotate.
Excuse me, George, I think it should be the chartered clubs, not
We have
properties.
both. We have both.
Do we?
Yes, we do,
Yeah.
but that's okay. If everybody's on the
Okay.
screen can see the properties agenda on there, we'll consider that report
Yeah.
given by Roberta. And we will move on to the charter clubs. Donna Maloney.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Charter Clubs Committee meeting on January 12th was the committee's first virtual meeting. Capital project presentations from Desert Garden Club and the Pickleball Club were moved forward to the governing board by consensus. Katie gave presentations on moving forward with digital improvements for charter clubs and for YouTube meeting video access. Our next meeting is February 9th. And again, at that time, it will also be virtual. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Donna. Next on the list, Ann Brown for filings.
Whoops, thank you, Mr. President. The December 2020 financials have been reviewed and accepted by the Budget and Finance Committee. They have been filed.
Okay, thank you very much. There's no action needed by the board on that. Okay. We go into, I guess we're going to be putting our hand up for our general manager, Mr. Schwinn, on a COVID-19 update.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I'd just like to give you a little bit of an update as to where we are relative to the COVID scenario. Again, Arizona Department of Health provides the business guidelines that we've been following ever since August of this year. Our attestment documents do say that we are going to abide by these recommendations. As we move forward, The numbers that are being recorded on the 2-week basis that we check in on relative to ADHS still has us in a substantial rating. That being said, they are recommending that indoor gyms and fitness centers remain closed. We are adhering to those recommendations. And the next couple of slides, I just want to share with you from a timing perspective. You can see on the slides the threshold yellow line numbers as far as those slashed lines. We'd like to see, obviously, of our numbers below that, which will get us kind of more back to a normal situation. But as we sit here today, these numbers continue to rise. The first slide that you saw was just before Thanksgiving. And the next several slides, you're going to see through Christmas and through New Year that these numbers have risen, continue to rise. And if there's any hope in this situation, obviously it's that the vaccines have now shown up, and there are several of those being distributed in various locations around the West Valley. And so at this point in time, as of Monday, close to 300,000 vaccines have been given in the state of Arizona, at least through Maricopa County. And so that, again, is a positive sign. We have been in communication with Maricopa County and the health professionals, offering up any of our facilities that they deem would serve them a great purpose as far as helping with the distribution of those vaccines. We stay in communication with them, but as far as today goes, they are where they are with the vaccine numbers that they have available to them. But if any more become available and they need more sites, obviously our doors are open for them. But as you can see, Johns Hopkins University basically calculates Arizona still as a pretty much of a hot spot. Percent positives are still at 14%. Recently, Arizona's peaked at 24%. And here's the downside is they consider 5% a good benchmark that the spread is under control. So as you can see, we still got a little ways to go. Again, hygiene and masks are really the answer, along with the vaccinations. So we're going in that direction. As far as the hospitals go, they're reporting that they're at about a 90% level as far as their ICUs go. And so it still remains a challenge for the health professionals and the first responders dealing with this once patients get to the hospital level. As far as clubs go, really this isn't really more anything to necessarily read, but the shading of the colors where you can see the red versus black, we're at about a little higher than 50% level for the actual individual clubs here within Sun City West at their own volition have opted to close due to health and safety. And so that was just a brief snapshot of what we're doing as far as that goes, working with clubs on a daily basis to make sure that everything remains safe and our users do the same. So that concludes my report for today, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Bill. Directors, I'll go down the list. Do you have any questions or comments for Bill about this? Sue?
Sorry, no, I don't have any
Okay.
questions.
Thank you. Donna?
No.
Ann?
No.
Sharon?
No.
Roberta?
None.
Bob?
No.
Jim?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jim.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is there any, are there any statistics out there that that convey that people that have got the vaccination have not contacted COVID?
Not that I have my fingers on at the moment. It is not a shield per se, obviously, because there's depending on what vaccine you get, there are 2 phases to that in some of them as opposed to a one-shot deal. So that is still being worked on as we speak, but really it's more of it's more of an assistance or a buffer. But really the true answer really still comes down to masks. From what we're hearing and from the conversations that we're getting from the medical folks. But really, if you have the opportunity and you're of the appropriate age and are available to get a vaccine, they're certainly recommending to do that as a self-caution measure. And it's highly recommended. But I can certainly look into that, and if there are any statistics relative to that, I'd be happy to share them in the next report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, yeah, they all did. So thank you, Bill, for your report on that one. We're moving into new business now. We have a series of motions, and what I'm going to do is, as we go through there, after we get a motion in a second, I'll go down the list for any discussion, and then I will go back down the list for a vote. This way, everybody has an opportunity to have any questions or comments asked on this one. First motion on club participation, Donna Maloney.
Thank you, Mr. President. Per the recommendation of the Charter Clubs Committee and after discussion by the Governing Board, I move that the Governing Board approve the insertion of language to the club membership participation, RR&Ps, at Chapter 2, Section 7, maintaining a club charter, Part A, as redlined. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion?
Second, this is Ann.
Okay. Karen, okay. Sue, any comments or questions about this?
Well, my comment or my question or my clarification is this insertion solves the problem of how we were going to determine participation. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know if Donna's running that one. So, Ann?
No, I mean, yes, I vote for it. No question.
No questions. We'll come back for a vote. Sharon?
Okay, thank you.
Just one question in regards to the given priority for facility use. So as we're going around with clubs that are have been chartered clubs and suggesting or in some way indicating they would be better if they weren't a chartered club or that they don't have enough members, are we giving them any priority then if they go to a non-chartered club versus a chartered club, and then a year from now some new club comes in and wants their space to change back?
That would all be determined by staff. That would be Riley.
Okay.
That would not be a decision, for the Charter Club Committee. I don't know that Riley is online. Is Riley online?
I do not believe he is.
Again, the goal of the association is not to eliminate chartered clubs. We want to be able to do whatever we can to help clubs, not dissolve clubs, but to help them.
Right. I'm not disputing that at all. All I'm asking is that are we going to give them, if they decide that the best way for them to move forward is to be a non-chartered club, even for a while or whatever, and we have another group come in that wants their space now because they're going to be a new chartered club, are we going back to that club and saying, we only have a contract with you for a year because you aren't doing contracts for more than a year, I understand from the staff. So do we have a policy about how to treat those clubs that were a charter at one time, maybe for the past 40 years, and are not going to be one now?
I am not aware that we have a policy that deals with that, but we have instituted a system to where, for example, you have a club that cannot continue as a charter club, and we've worked with them and they now continue, but not as a chartered club.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon. Roberta?
Yes, no question.
Okay, Bob?
No questions.
Jim?
No.
Okay, and I'm going to go in reverse order for vote. Jim, yay or nay?
Yes.
Bob?
Yay.
Roberta?
Yay.
Sharon?
No, and mainly because we don't have any policy for people that want to be, still go back and be a charter club once they're not, so.
Ann,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, thank you. It's a majority vote. Next one, motion donation guidelines approval, Roberta.
All right, per the recommendations of the property committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve the donation, memorialization, and naming guidelines for procedural use by association staff.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it, Sue.
So, okay. Okay, discussion. Again, I'll go down the list. Sue, I'm going to start with you.
Just that I think we worked on this as a subcommittee for a number of sessions, and I feel pretty good that it has covered almost all of the situations. Understanding that these are guidelines, and when we have a situation that might come up that we found we did not cover it properly, I think that that can be addressed at that time. But hopefully, we've covered most of the topics.
Absolutely.
all.
Thank you. Donna, any comments?
I think we ended up with a great document.
Ann?
Only comment is thanks for all this hard work that this has taken to get us to this point.
Sharon?
No comments?
Thank you. Roberta, since you're leading this, I don't have to ask for a comment, but I will. I think you guys did a great job on this. Bob?
No comment.
Jim?
I have one question. If let's say there's a plaque on a bench, and the bench is destroyed after 30 years or 40 years, and there's a new one put on, who pays for the plaque to go back on, or do we not do it? Or is it in this? Or is it
It's in there, Jim. Yeah. It's really up to the staff to put it on there and they work it out. I don't think in any way, shape, or form we would want to take away anything that's not out there unless it's the people who put it on there said it's no longer relevant. Okay. We're going to vote on this one. Yay will put this in there. Sue?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Roberta?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay, carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Next one, Roberta, you're up again on FAO 2.
Per the recommendation of the Properties Committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve the in-gross revisions to policy FA02, donations and memorials as redlined.
Is there a second to that motion, please?
I'll second
Sue,
it.
I'll
This
second
is
it.
Donna.
Very good, Sue Fitzsimons. Thank you. Okay, discussion. I hope you've all have read this, and I think this is part and parcel with part one of what we did just before. This is to make sure that it goes directly, well, as I read it says bottom there, just for process and consideration, donation naming rights. Proposal referred to the donation memorialization naming guidelines to request a copy from the general manager's office. Okay. Any comments on this, Sue?
Well, I think what this does is it tries to separate policies from procedures.
I agree.
Nothing, the policies do not need to be as descriptive. That's what the guidelines are for. And so I think that those things are covered in the above document. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Donna?
Yes, I approve.
Okay.
No
Ann?
comment.
Yes, I approve.
Okay, we're looking for comments, but that's okay. Sharon?
No comments?
Roberta?
No comment.
Bob,
No comment.
Jim?
No comment.
Okay, vote Jim,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Roberta,
Yes.
Sharon?
No. I mean, yes, I'm sorry, yes. Sorry,
Okay.
somebody rang my doorbell. Sorry.
Even those people, how indiscriminate, don't they know we have a meeting? Ann,
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries unanimously. And we'll move on to the next one. I have to flip a piece of paper. Boy, boy. Very good. Next one is Roberta, you're up again with FA 12.
Per the recommendation of the Properties Committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve retiring policy FA 12 fixed term naming rights.
Second?
Second, Bob.
Okay, directors, this is one of the things, I don't think I have to go down to discussions. This is a retirement, and we've approved the other things. So I'm just going to go to a straight vote on this one. Sue?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes,
Roberta?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay, we got it good. Next one up, Big Bob Canero on G6 revision.
Thank you. Per the recommendation of the Golf Committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve insertion of group play language to policy G6, administration of the golf tee time reservation system at section 1, part 1.3.
Very good. Is there a second to this?
I'll second. This is
Very
Donna.
good, Don. Okay. Comments on this, Sue?
No comment.
Donna?
No comment.
Ann?
No comment.
Sharon?
no comment.
Roberta?
No comment.
Bob, I don't have to ask you for a comment. You made one already. Jim?
Yeah, is this approving the test case for the group play? Is that what?
Well, what it is really, Jim, is that there's nothing in the policy about what group play is and what its purpose is, and this is simply putting that in there.
Okay. Has there been any further movement on the test case? Or should that come at a different time? I'll ask that.
Well, our subcommittee has gotten together and they're putting together all the guidelines that will be published out by the golf operations and the general manager. They're not part of the policy, just the guidelines and procedures.
Okay, thank you. Jim, yay or nay?
Yes.
Yes. Bob, yay?
Yes.
Roberta?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes,
Ann?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next one up, Bob, G10.
Okay, thank you. Per the recommendation of the Golf Committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve the in-gross revisions to policy G10, non-resident play for golf public player card holders outside play as redlined.
Is there a second to this?
I'll second it. This is Donna.
Donna. Okay. Very good. Discussion about this, Sue?
As I understand this clarifies who is covered in this policy. Is that the correct assumption?
Yes, at the last meeting, there was a question about who is considered a resident with regards to the policy. And that's besides the other changes that were already put up. This defines who a resident is for group play, for regular play, with regards to membership fees and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Donna,
No comment.
Ann,
No comment.
Sharon?
Just a question. If somebody is in group play, if they're a non-resident and the rest of the group is, are they still included in this now?
No, this is only for basically setting up for fees. If you're a non-resident and you're playing in group play, which you're allowed to do, you'll just be considered a non-resident.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Roberta?
No comment.
Jim?
Yes, no comment.
No comment? Vote down. Jim?
Yeah,
Bob?
Yes.
Roberta?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes,
Ann?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. The next
George?
one is up. Yes.
If I may, just a point of clarification, I believe on Sharon's comment or question, when it comes to group play, outside players are limited to only 3 rounds a year. Group play is pretty much restricted to residents.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Should have
Thank you.
clarified.
I think there was a question there too that she had that was referring to the fee. Outside players plays an outside fee no matter whether they're in group play or not. Is that correct?
Right.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure that it's all about it. Next one up is an update from BNF Ann Brown.
Thank you, President George. I have a motion per the recommendation of the BNF committee and after discussion by the governing board, I move that the governing board approve moving the process of contracting a financial advisor forward for the defined RFQ, which is request for quote.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it. This is Donna.
Very good. Okay, down the list, comments. Sue?
Does this mean that we are proceeding with this or we are just looking into it?
As I understand it, we will proceed with Pete and Bill putting out the RFQ. Then we will see what kind of response we get. Pete and Bill and I'll be representing as the treasurer of the association, and possibly some others in the accounting department will then vet those responses, and I'm assuming probably need to do some interviews, whether it's virtually or in person. So we're still a long ways from them making a decision. This just gets the process started.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Donna?
No comment.
And you're on there, mind on Sharon?
So we're also asking or giving this out to the people that are now doing the rest of our financial stuff with the money. Is that correct? I don't know how to describe that. They're not doing this job.
They will have an opportunity to
Right.
Put forth the information. That's up to them.
Right. I'm just asking. We were making. I mean, they know that we're doing this. Is what I'm asking, I guess.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Thank you.
Roberta?
No comment.
Bob? Bob, you have
I'm
anything?
sorry, George, I forgot to mute myself. No comment.
Okay. Jim?
Only comment I make is I don't think we need this, and I haven't believed that we did, and I'm gonna vote no, but I know I'm a minority, and I don't. Thank you.
Well, Jim, that's why there's 9 of us on the board, whether we're majority or minority, we have an opinion. Okay, we'll go for a vote on this one. Jim? Okay. Bob?
Yes.
Okay. Roberta?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Sue? Sue, I need a yay or nay. Sue? Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I lost my screen. Yeah,
Okay, thank
sorry.
you. Okay, motion carries 6-1. Okay, that is our motions and our business for today. Okay, moving along, we have board director comments. Okay, and what I will do with director comments is if I go through the list twice, just to make sure there's anything else. I will start with Sue.
No comment.
Okay, Donna,
No comment.
Ann,
No comments.
Sharon,
I don't know who to ask this question of, so I'm just gonna, maybe Bob can answer this. Are we painting the grass?
Are we doing one? I'm sorry.
Are we painting the grass?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so my grass on Grandview was being painted a couple days ago. So I just wanted to know if this is something we do on an ongoing basis. And the only reason I know it's paint is because afterwards I went out and walked on the 7th tee at Grandview and got green paint on the bottom of my shoes.
and Sharon, if I may just jump in on this one.
Sure.
Actually, just call up Todd Patty. He will tell you exactly what's going on at every one of the courses at any time. And it may not
I
be
thought that
paint.
was staff and we weren't supposed to call them directly, so I didn't call.
No,
I'm sorry.
you're a director. You call them directly, not a problem.
Okay.
They'll be happy to talk to you. The other thing is that green stuff. It's like when they put that the seeding down. It may be the seed and fertilizer and all together that they do like on the side of the roads. It looks like green paint, but it's not. And
Okay.
it comes up with issues. But yeah, it's Todd. He'll tell you right out.
Thank you.
No problem. Roberta?
No comment.
Bob?
You want an answer?
No
Yeah,
comments.
go ahead. Bill has an answer.
We do use
Good.
paint on the golf courses, particularly on driving ranges. So those target areas on the dormant Bermuda grass that you see out there, those green circles are actually paint. Saves us on irrigation as well as planting seed out there. I can't attest the fact that the tee boxes were painted, but I can certainly check with Todd, and you may as well. But you know, on those types of concerns, feel free to contact staff. But it's always a good idea to copy George or myself on those, so we at least make sure you get responses.
Thank you. I was surprised that they were painting. That was all. So I thought it wasn't paint. So I didn't think we were painting, but then when I went out, it appears that it's on my shoes. So, but I will check. Thank you.
Right, and that could be fertilizer as well.
Bob, no comment?
No comments.
Jim?
Yeah, is Pete Finelli on the call?
I'm here.
Where do we stand on the APF fees this month versus a year ago, this same time?
If you're referencing January, the update on the general manager meeting had us at the low 50. Last year against a comp, it was a 90 or so. So we're slightly behind, but I went down to the membership office and they had 14 they were going to place that day. So they're comfortable that we'll likely be even, if not better, by end of month. Quickly, inquiries are coming in at just a extremely high pace. We had almost 100 within 1 week. And lastly, there was something. I apologize. There was a third piece. I guess I just am forgetting what it was. Sorry.
Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. If there's no other comments by the directors, I just want to take the opportunity, first and foremost, be careful out there and be well. That is the most important thing, and to everybody that's out there. And I really want to put out kudos to Bill and his staff and everybody who works there. They put together a lot of these presentations and things like that, and they do an immense amount of work behind the scenes. And I think as a director, one of the things we forget is how involved they are day in and day out with their business of running our association. And I just wanted to put out kudos to them because they really are the ones who make our Sun City West Recreation Association to be the shining star that it is. And I wanted to just thank them for that right up front. As far as guest comments goes, we had a question that came in before the meeting. It had to do with political signs and flags. And I forwarded that to Riley, who forwards that to the CC&R department. And that gentleman, I'm going to say it wrong. Steve will get an answer from them directly. Hearing no other comments or anything else, I will happily adjourn the meeting at this time. Thank you all. Our next meeting is in person, and it will be in the social hall, okay, on February 5th. Going forward on that, I want to make sure it's not a virtual, it'll be phone. And I thank everybody for putting up with the virtual meeting. Have yourself a wonderful weekend and enjoy the day. And just to you, I'm going to say go Chiefs, but I'm still rooting for my home team of Buffalo. Thanks.
I would expect nothing less from you, George, but, a lot's going to depend on Patrick Mahomes. So
I know.
see how he is. Thank you.
We're all good. Thank you all for participating. I will adjourn the meeting at this time. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.